Do you want to know how to train your dog the sit method? In this video, I'm going to show you 2 easy, effective methods you can use to teach your dog how to sit. Teaching your dog how to sit on command is one of the simplest behavior you can teach, and it's usually the first command in basic obedience training. Sitting can be a useful behavior for many situations, but the training process is also the beginning of establishing relationship between you and your dog. Once your dog learns to sit on command, you will have his attention, which will make future training so much easier. There are certain methods that typically work better for puppies, while others are more suited for older or less energetic dogs. Oh yes, older dogs can be trained too. It is never too late to start training a dog. But before starting, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button in order to receive more content from me. So let's dive right into it. Method number 1, use the treat trick. This method has 9 different fast and easy steps. Step number 1, you have to get a variety of small treats because you will be giving your dog many treats during this training. You can also use healthy human foods that are good for dogs, such as pieces of apple, carrots, green beans, or chicken. If the dog that you are working with is overweight, you may be able to find a reduced calorie or diet treat, or even use individual pieces of diet dog food. Always check to be sure that human food is dog safe. There are many foods such as grapes, raisins, chocolate, onions, or avocados that can be harmful to dogs. So take note of that. Step number 2 is to capture your dog's attention. As with teaching of all behaviors, the first step is to get your dog's full attention. This is best accomplished by standing directly in front of your dog with him facing you, so that he is completely focused on you and can see and hear you clearly. Step number 3, show the dog the treat. Hold a treat in your hand so that he knows you have it, but also so that he cannot nip it from your hand. He will be very curious about how he should go about getting the treat from your hand. You should now have his full attention. Step number 4, move the treat from the dog's nose to behind his head. Keep the treat very close to the dog's nose, then slowly raise it over to the top of his head. He will follow the treat with his eyes and nose, looking upward, and in the process placing his bottom on the ground. You will need to hold the treat close enough to the dog's head so that he wouldn't try to jump up to get it. Keep it low enough to the ground that he will sit. If your dog's bottom isn't fully reaching the ground, you can help by gently easing him into a full sit position while keeping the treat in the same position. If your dog tries to back up to follow the treat rather than raising his head and sitting, try to trick indoors in a corner to start with. This will limit the dog's ability to move backwards and may facilitate the sitting. Step 5. Say sit as the dog sits. Reward him with a treat. When your dog's rear end makes contact with the ground, say sit in a confirmed voice, then immediately offer him the treat as a reward for sitting. Try to limit your verbalization. If the dog doesn't sit right away, don't say no, sit, or introduce other commands. If you limit your speech to just the command and the praise, the command word will stand out more clearly. Step 6. Praise your dog's behavior. Reinforcing the treat reward with praise, rub his head and use words such as good boy. This reinforces the fact that he did something that pleased you. Do this every time your dog completes the sit action. Step 7. Release your dog from the sit position. You can release your dog from the sit command by using a command word such as release or free, while taking a step back and encouraging him to come to you. Step number 8, repeat the trick for 10 minutes. After a while, he will be bored, so take a break and resume training another time. Aim for at least 2 to 3 short training sessions every day. It will likely take 1 to 2 weeks of consistent training for your dog to catch on. Step 9, wind your dog off treat. When you first start training with the treat trick, give your dog a treat each time he sits. Be sure you always offer enthusiastic praises as well. After a week or 2, when your dog is reliably sitting by treats, offer the treat intermediately, but continue to offer praise. You will slowly work towards getting the dog to sit with your hand signal and the sit command with no treat, then with only the sit command. Method number 2 is to offer physical guidance. Well, this method can be applied on rambunctious dogs. This method gives you better control over the dog that you are working with, and it better suits for very active dogs. The key to working with unruly dogs is to maintain control with the use of a leash and harness and to reinforce positive behavior. Negative behaviors during training should be ignored. If you respond to them, you are reinforcing them. Step 1. Put your dog on a leash. You need your dog's attention and for him to stay in place during training sessions. Using a leash will help you to accomplish this and keep him close to your side. If you strongly prefer not to work with a leash, you can still use this method to train your dog as long as he will stay to your side. Hold the leash taut so that your dog is close to you, but not so tight that it makes him uncomfortable. You may need to try different types of harness or collars to find what works for training your dog. A head halter or a harness that attaches at the dog's chest rather than on his back may offer you more control over the dog's movement and behavior. Step number 2, stand next to your dog and encourage him to sit. You will help him lower from the standing position to the sitting position by very gently pushing on the area directly above his rear legs. He may be confused at first, but after a moment he will get the picture and sit. Don't force your dog to sit. Pushing him hard could scare him or hurt him. Never hit or spank your dog. You won't teach him how to sit by this, you will only teach him to fear you. If the dog fights you and refuses to sit, try walking him around on the leash a bit to reset the sit session. Then stop, try to ease him into the sit again. Step number 3, say sit as his bottom touches the floor. Keep your hand in place for about 30 seconds so that he associates the position of sitting with your command. Step number 4, repeat the gentle sit. You should repeat this process several more times, rewarding and praising your dog for each successful sit attempt. Continue guiding him with the sitting position with your hands for as long as necessary until he learns to sit with only your voice command. Step number 5, change environments. If your dog is consistently resistant to the sitting position, you should try moving to a different surface that your dog may be more comfortable with. You may also try taking a break and trying again later after giving your dog a period of a quiet time. Step number 6, be persistent. With a especially energetic dog, it can take weeks of practice until he gets the hang of sitting on command. To help in calming your dog and speeding up this process, remember to remain calm and speak in a calm voice. You may also try scheduling your training session during a time when distractions are minimized and after the dog has had plenty of exercise and is hopefully less energetic. Step number 7. Practice an assisted sit command. Once your dog will sit regularly with your assistance, it is time to try without your help. With your dog still on the leash, practice saying sit when your dog is standing without using your hand on his lower back. Initially, continue to reward him each time he sits on command, eventually progressing to where he will sit on command without needing a treat. If this was helpful, remember to subscribe and click the notification button so next time I upload a video you can be notified.